Bitcoin has just broken into the most historic, the most parabolic, the most absurd part of every single cycle. Phase 4. Phase 4 is official, but what happens next is incredibly important, and that will lead to how long Phase 4 will last and what should we expect from Bitcoin as it just entered Phase 4. What if you could stop missing out on huge trades and start creating multiple streams of income? For Black Friday only, my entire course bundle, built on 25 years of experience, is a massive 79% off. Plus, when you sign up with crypto, you'll save an extra $450. Unlock my simple step-by-step system for day trading, swing trading, long-term investing, and my famous hybrid system, which has minted many millions. These strategies dominate Bitcoin, altcoins, and the stock market. Whether you're brand new to crypto or you're a seasoned pro, worried about time? No problem at all. You just need 5 or 10 minutes per day from any phone, tablet, or computer. Sign up right now and get my secret hybrid indicator completely free. One-time payment unlocks lifetime access. The clock is ticking. Mika's up 100,000. Max up 700,000. Roxanne 20x'd her portfolio. My unique hybrid system creates winners. Stop waiting and start winning. Sign up now. CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Now here we are. We're on the Bitcoin US dollar index, and today we're on the monthly chart. And what we've got in front of us is price action for Bitcoin since 2011. In other words, we've got the last 13 years on our chart right in front of us, broken down into 4 beautiful boxes. We have a box labeled 2013. That's the market cycle, incredible, from top to bottom in 2013. Now on each box, we have some lines. These lines are the Fibonacci lines. They're incredibly important in anything that has a chart, and they represent absolute tops of certain moves at precisely the same time levels. It's really, really interesting when we break it down. But we have one box from 2013. The bottom of the market was here, the top of the market was here, and in this instance, it actually went all the way up to the yellow line. One of the first questions you have is, now that we've entered phase 4, is it possible that Bitcoin goes to this yellow line? That's something we're going to discuss as well in today's video. And then the second box is 2017. Going from the bottom of the market back in the glory days of at 162 and riding the wave up to 20,000. If you entered Bitcoin in this part of the market, you probably remember phase 4. It started when Bitcoin went above $1,000. I remember sitting at my desk watching Bitcoin pass $1,000, and everyone was freaking out. That was the start of the legendary phase 4, and Bitcoin went from about $1,000 all the way up to almost 5,000, and people literally lost their minds. It was mayhem. If you remember crypto then, those were the wild, wild west days of crypto. It was fun, but let me tell you, the legendary phase 4, which is when Bitcoin breaks this red line and enters into this box, is absolutely absurd, right? You can see in 2013, we went from about $32 up to $268. In 2017, we went from about $1,000 almost up to $5,000. In 2021, we went from about $19,000 up to our high of above $60,000. Phase 4 really defines the market cycle top of phase 4 at the 1.618. In other words, when you come over here to your tools and you click on fib retracement, you're going to click on fib retracement and you're going to look at the prior swing high. What does the prior swing high mean? That means the previous market cycle top. You go from that bad boy all the way down to the bottom of the market. And when you do that, you're going to add these lines on your chart. When you look at the style, we've got 6 check marks here. Next to the 0, the 0.38, we also have the 1, the 2.36, we have the 0.78, and the 1.618. Those are all on fibs based on log scale. We're on a log scale chart. We got our fibs based on log scale. We got it all set up. And our 4 boxes are looking at the 4 cycles that Bitcoin has had. In each cycle has been incredibly precise with the Fibonacci levels. This is a chart that we have discussed for well over 2 or 3 years. This is a fascinating approach to the market because it looks at individual phases of the bull run. Most people think the bull run just started. This is phase 4 of the bull run. We have to be very clear. Bitcoin has never had any more than 5 phases. In other words, Bitcoin is near the end of the bull, not the beginning. This is not phase 1 or phase 2. If you want to see the phases, we have them boxed for you here. Every single phase 1 of the bull is marked in yellow. It comes after the bear market bottom, and it builds market structure directly on top of the bottom of the market. Case in point, 2013. Bottom of the market here, phase 1 is built directly on top. Think of it like a Lego. You're connecting the Lego in. That's what phase 1 does. It builds market structure directly on top like a good little Lego. What does phase 2 do? Pretty much the same thing. It builds like a Lego box directly on top of phase 1. Actually, more importantly, it does the Lego thing for phase 2, but phase 2 actually goes right to the 0.78. Every single time on the fib chart, it goes right to the 0.78, which means a lot of people are like, oh my God, we've entered phase 2. How high can we go? Well, how high can we go? We're going to go to the 0.78, just like we did in 2013. What about in 2017? Is this time different? No. Phase 2 is right here. Build a Lego right on top of phase 1 and went right to the 0.78 on the fib. You can see it right in front of your face. 2021. Oh my God, was this time different? We had COVID. What was going on? More of the same. Here's our building block directly up to the 0.78. 2025. Oh my God, is this time going to be different? What is going to happen? Phase 2 right here. Built directly on top of phase 1 and went right to the 0.78. Right on schedule, right on cue. Now, what happens next is we enter phase 3.
I was just investing my money and just throwing it into the abyss.
I got stuck in trades because I didn't know what I was doing.
I started off with a 10K capital and this withered away to $4,000.
The key is right here in front of you.
Now with Steve's plan, I'm actually up 32,000.
I experienced my first big winning trades, over 100% gain.
This was literally changing my life. It was changing my family's life. Don't be scared. Take the leap. Do the courses. It is amazing. It'll change your life. It changed mine.
Phase 3 is represented with this red line. In other words, on the fib level, it's 1. 1 is just representative of the prior all-time high. In other words, the prior all-time high is this red barrier that typically acts as big resistance. Why? Because our past market cycle had so much bullishness, but it stopped at a particular price and then reverted, meaning a lot of heavy hands took profits up there, which created a big domino effect. That means that area has a lot of trading confluence, which means when we get back up to that area, there's typically still a lot of profit taking because that's where there was profit taking before, and we haven't confirmed that level as support. It's still resistance until proven as support. So a lot of traders will look at that area, case in point, the red line, as areas to take profits and re-enter markets under short time frames. Case in point, 2017. We got up to this red line. We went from the blue line at about 760. We shot up to the red line, well over 1,200. Some people took profits there. We went back down to that 800 level. They bought back in, and then they rode the wave up. It's just areas of confluence. They did the same thing when we reached the blue line. When we reached the blue line, we're at almost 5,000, and then we subsequently crashed all the way down to 2008, where a lot of people bought in because it's clear market structure right in front of our face. So it's just easy areas for people to be like, okay, I'm taking profits here, and then they'll buy back in at key market structure, assuming that this will continue. Because the first 2 cycles, 2013 and 17, both reached the yellow line. Facts, 2013, yellow line, which is 2.36, which is absolutely parabolically incredible. If you're wondering what this yellow line is, we're going to get to that in a moment. And also, could Bitcoin actually reach this yellow line? We're going to get to that as well. But what you want to look at is 2021 is where things started to shift in a different direction. We just spoke about 2013, yellow line, 2017, yellow line, 2021, no yellow line. Why? Let's break it down. When we had our box theory, right? This is the COVID theory, right? We had phase 1, we had phase 2, we were in phase 3. When we got up to phase 3, we went right to the 1.618, and things were a bit different. This is where we had our first top and then that subsequent pullback. We had no more muscle in the market where we had met this heavy resistance here, which we typically do in 2013 and 17. We were met with resistance and we had that pullback right on cue. We had that pullback, but our second kind of push upward was met as a double top and incredibly strong bearish divergence, which means price technically made a higher high in all of our indicators. No matter what, you could close your eyes and look at any indicator, there was strong bearish divergence. That was our double top. That's the time where we didn't reach the yellow line. Now we're in this cycle. Labeled some people may say, well, why is it labeled 2025? What's going on? I labeled the top of each market with the year. The market topped in 2013, the market topped in 17, and the market topped in 21. Typically, Bitcoin runs in 4-year cycles. So I'm putting 2025. As I've illustrated, this is likely to be the market top. Nobody knows, but it's likely to be in 2025. That's something that we looked at for a very long time. It does have the outside chance to make a market cycle top, very late around Christmas time or New Year's. Anything's possible for Bitcoin, but the typical 4-year cycle ends in 25. So that's why that's there. Now, let's break down what's going on with this current cycle. And more importantly, this break above this red line. And even more importantly than that, entering this phase 4, and more importantly than all of that, how parabolic could this thing get? Where's the top of phase 4, and how long could phase 4 last? Let's start to break these pieces down. 2025, the current market cycle that we're in. Again, we have 3 beautiful boxes, one from 2013, one from 2017, one from 2021, all of which played a key role with the Fibonacci levels. Our level of number 1 was at our prior swing high. In other words, about 70K. And we spent many months as resistance to this 70K. But we did hold key market structure support at this blue line, which is again that 0.78. That blue line has played a key role every single market so far, and it held support at 0.78 while holding resistance at the 1. And it was just a matter of time. We saw some curvature coming into the market, but more importantly, we had a weekly stochastic RSI top and a 2-week stochastic RSI top. Have you wanted to sign up to my courses, but they're just a little bit too much money for you? Well, not to worry. I want you to comment right now, payment plans. I'm going to respond with a secret link that will unlock 12 easy payments for you. So right now, comment payment plans and sign up before it's too late. The first weekly one came in early August. We had a stochastic RSI cross on the weekly. The first one ended up being a fake out. We had a fake out around $57,000 Bitcoin. We had another fake out around $56,000 Bitcoin. And then it was subsequently around 55,000 that we had our official weekly stochastic RSI cross, and we went from 55 almost up to 100. But we also talked about looking for the 2-week stochastic RSI top, and we talked about those were tag team efforts trying to fight the 2-month gravestone doji. We said that's the only thing that could bring Bitcoin to a new all-time high, was the weekly stochastic RSI and the 2-week. We said you will not find an all-time high in Bitcoin where we didn't have a 1-week and 2-week stochastic RSI cross simultaneously. Wouldn't happen. We also talked about breaking this trend line, which that happened back in early September. So by September, we had broken out of here and a 1 week stochastic RSI cross, and we had the 2 week stochastic RSI cross officially back in July. And, these are just market cycles, right? The 2 week stochastic RSI cross happens once a year. Let's be honest. It happens once a year. On a weekly time frame, it happens twice a year. So it's not very often. Those two things finally brought us above this resistance zone of number 1. And officially, hot off the press, we have just closed our monthly candle as support in phase 4, meaning phase 4 of the bull has officially started for Bitcoin. Now, what does this mean? Let's break it down. This means that Bitcoin has now confirmed that it's holding support at this red line and has entered this blue box. Now, this blue box has the Fibonacci level of 1.618 as our resistance area. In other words, the next resistance area for Bitcoin is at 178,000. Now, does that mean Bitcoin has to reach 178,000? Anything is possible. We have to be realistic. But one thing that holds true no matter what is no matter what day of the year you wake up and you look at Bitcoin, if we are in a bull market, it is more risky to be out of Bitcoin than in Bitcoin. This is something now that we've been saying for a couple years. If you wake up and we're still in a bull, this rule will still hold true. Why? Because Bitcoin makes 90% of its gains in about 31 days. 31 days out of the whole calendar year, it will make up 90% of its gains. In other words, if you're out of the market while Bitcoin is deciding randomly one of these days to make most of its gains, you've lost out majorly. That's why I always say the biggest problem everybody makes is selling. You sell at the worst time out of greed because you want to buy back again when it goes lower, and then the market does the opposite. For those of you who haven't taken my courses yet, I can see, maybe there's all sorts of different reasons, but one thing remains true. If I had the courses that I created back when I started trading, back when I had less than 10 years of experience, it would have been a game changer because my first 10 years, I made so many mistakes. It cost me so much money. I left so much money on the table. I looked like an idiot, but the whole time my ego was telling me I knew what I was doing, but my results were telling me the opposite. Ego won. Ego always wins. And if I had my courses back when I was 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, 20, even in college, when I was in college, I was making the dumbest mistakes in the world. And then I got out of the college and I still believed I knew what I was doing. I was still an idiot. I was making so many rookie trading mistakes, and I was trying to trade on all these different strategies and what people were talking about in the news, and I got caught up in so many things. So that's why I made the courses, is to quite literally help those people who are struggling like me. That's it. And if it helps people, that's, for me, is the best thing in the world. And my courses are really different. I've got to be honest. And if you see my students in the comments, they will tell you, I did not make traditional courses. I made courses that will help you set up generational wealth. A lot of it's very different. It's about the mindset of being a trader and how to structure things for your future and how to trade and achieve your maximum success rather than trying to make some quick bucks and get rich quick and Lambo tomorrow, which is what most courses are designed around. And that's just not realistic. So I made courses so different. Anyways, I'm getting off point, but the point is, for me, the courses are my heart and my soul and everything that I know will help. If you have less than 10 years of experience and you've gone through these battles with your ego and it's been convincing you know what you're doing, but your results are like, there's no way I know what I'm doing. Look at my results. They should be here, but they're here. I definitely don't know. Maybe I know a little bit. Trust me, you're going to take the courses. You're going to be blown away. If you like my YouTube videos just a little bit, the courses are on another level, like straight facts. All right, now let's get back here. So what do we got? We got 2013 yellow line, 2017 yellow line, 2021 blue line. Where's the blue line at right now for Bitcoin as we just entered phase 4, the most parabolic phase of the bull run, which is typically where you start to see altcoins really explode, because money has mainly so far in the bull been in the top dogs like Bitcoin, mostly in Bitcoin and in Ethereum, and it's obviously been in some alts, but mainly in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been the granddaddy so far. And in phase 4, you start to see people that have a large Bitcoin holding look for altcoins to maximize the Bitcoin, which is the strategy that I've been preaching to you. So this is where altcoins typically boom, is phase 4. We just entered. Let's be very clear about that. The top of this blue line right now, we're looking at 178,000 Bitcoin. So could Bitcoin reach that level? I mean, with all due respect, we've reached that blue line every single cycle. Does that mean it's going to happen this time? No, there's no certainties in charts. There's only probabilities. We can say it's probable that we'll reach, because every time that we've held the red line as support, we've reached it. We can use that data to quantify it, but there's no quantifiable evidence that it's guaranteed to happen. If anybody's preaching that, we've got to run away, right? The facts are the facts. So the blue line factually is at 178,000. We have the yellow line at $555,000 Bitcoin. I can't even imagine Bitcoin reaching 178. If it did, we would be at such a parabolic point in crypto. It would be worldwide. There would be so many eyeballs on Bitcoin. It would be absolutely absurd what is happening in the market. There would be scams everywhere. There would be so many people with rug pulls. It would be incredibly dangerous. It would be the worst time to possibly get into Bitcoin, but that's when the high majority of people will get in. So if we do, I need you to make me a promise. If we get up to $178,000 Bitcoin, we're going to celebrate, but we also need to help people who are just getting in. That Grandma Betty just called and she said this is the best ever time to buy, and they end up buying near the top. Please do me a favor. When we get up there, we'll decide if we're showing evidence that we're going to go up to this 555 level, or are we going to stop short before 178? Either way, we've got to keep people level-headed. There's going to be so many scams. People are going to get taken advantage of left and right, center, every day, multiple times a day. We've got to protect people. Please promise me that. It gets to be a very dirty industry when we're near an all-time high, so we need to be focused there. By the way, let's get to how long this phase 4 has lasted in the past. Now, luckily for us, we have 3 complete cycles of data to sift through to organize how long we've officially been inside of this blue box. In other words, at what point did we finally hold this red line as support and bounce in between that level of 1 on the fib up to the level of 1.618? Back in 2013, here's how many days we spent in phase 4. We spent about 200 days in phase 4. We followed that up in 2017. And again, we're looking for candles that actually confirmed inside of phase 4, starting our count of how many candles. So in 2013, it was about 200 days. And in 2017, it was about 100 days. And then we moved to 2021, our other data point for how long we had spent inside of phase 2, and it was long. I mean, we spent over 400 days inside of phase 4, bouncing between our double top. What's going to happen this time? Let me know in the comments down below. So more on this to come, but I find it fascinating. We're going to see, could Bitcoin possibly reach 178,000? We talked about this for the past couple of years and saying we've got to be honest with that is a viable option. We've done it every single time. And we also have to be honest that 555 is a target. We said this about a year ago, right? 555 is a target. Why? Because 33% of the time we have reached this 2.36. Quite literally, 2 out of the 3 cycles so far. It's quite literally 66.66%. That's a fact. So we have to be honest with ourselves that that's a possibility. Who knows if it's going to happen, but it's going to be very interesting. Hit that subscribe button.
I was just investing my money and just throwing it into the abyss.
I got stuck in trades because I didn't know what I was doing.
I started off with a 10K capital, and this withered away to $4,000.
The key is right here in front of you.
Now with Steve's plan, I'm actually up 32,000.
I experienced my first big winning trades, over 100% gain.
This was literally changing my life. It was changing my family's life. Don't be scared. Take the leap. Do the courses. It is amazing. It'll change your life. It changed mine.
Mika's up over 100,000, Mark's up over 700,000, Roxanne 20x'd her portfolio, and Tornado says, my YouTube videos 5x'd his life, but my courses 1000x'd his life. Sign up now, clock is ticking, CryptoCrewUniversity.com.